I hope all of you can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we had finished this part. We had also reviewed certain Boolean laws and identities, and we had also seen how uh, I had also given you an assignment, and many of you have submitted it. You have time till Friday. So please submit the assignments and see that you don't copy. Try to do on your own. So when you do on your own, you get confidence. That is very important. Now we'll proceed to the next part here, and that is we'll go to De Morgan's laws. So I have got a little picture here on De Morgan's laws, and as they are applied to uh, Boolean systems or binary or Boolean logic. So here you have A or B, not of that, is equal to not of A and not of B. Okay, and those of you who are familiar with set theory, you know that the complement of A union B is complement of A intersection complement of B. And here actually in this set, in the binary set, you just have 0 and 1 over here. So the complement of 0 is 1 and the complement of 1 is 0. And so you have a very simple, you can test this by a simple brute force of a truth table. Okay, so you can just check here. So A and B, if they are inputs, they can take these possible values, and A or B will be this will be the output A or B, and if you take the complement of that, you get this, and you are to actually verify whether complement of A, whether the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, and that we will do in our next slide. Now, the other identity is that the other law, the Morgan's law, is that complement of A and B is equal to not of A or not of B. So in these two laws, you can also see the same thing from the set theory, that A intersection B complement is equal to A complement union B complement. So you can see in these Boolean laws, in these De Morgan's laws, that you can use a NOR gate. So this is a NOR gate, and using that you can realize an AND operation, except that you have to complement the inputs. In the same way, you can also use a NAND logic, a NAND gate, to realize an OR operation. Here also you have to complement the inputs. Now, of course, using a NAND gate, you can also realize an OR operation. You can also realize a NAND operation, an AND operation using a NAND gate. Okay. So these gates are very fundamental. They are very basic because you can realize all the logic, different logic, the function of all the Boolean operators using these two gates, the NOR and the NAND gate, and so they are called fundamental gates. Now, let us come to, yes. So, here in the next slide, we are just using sheer force of the truth table uh, to just verify whether the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. And on the left hand side, you can see I've got the inputs A, which can take these different values, and A or B is this, and complement of A or B. So A nor B. That is one. That is this given in this column. And if you see the right hand side, so this is the left hand side output on the left hand side. And if you see the right hand side, you need the complement of A and complement of B, and you're just ANDing them. So 1 and 1 is 1. All the others are zeros. And you can see that the left hand side and the right hand side, they are the same. So this law is verified. In the same way, you can also check whether A and B. So A NAND B is equal to not A or not B. So this is the second law, and you can check for the left hand side. So here you have A NAND B obtained from the inputs A and B, and here you have not A or not B, which is the right hand side, and you can see that the left hand side and the right hand side are equal. So this is as far as the De Morgan's laws are concerned, and they are very useful. These laws are, you can extend them to more inputs as well. So you may extend them to, say, if you have you may extend them to several yes. So you may have several inputs A, B, C, and so on. And if you or all of them and then complement them, that is, you take the NAND operation of these inputs, you will get a NOR operation of these inputs. I'm sorry, you will get not A and not B and not C and so on. Okay, so this is how you can extend the Morgan's laws to more inputs. The same way, A and B. So this is NAND of A and B and C. So here you have not A or not B or not C and so on. So if you complement it once again, you can see that you get the A or B or C. Okay, because complement of complement is a variable itself. So this is just A or B or and so on. And here you can realize this by just using the NAND gate. So here using NAND gates can be used to perform OR operations. Okay. So that is an important point. So if you don't have OR gates, you can use NAND gates. In the same way, you can extend to more inputs. With if you take complement of this, you get so you take the complement on the right hand side as well, and you get A and B and so on. So you can see here that NOR gates can be used to perform AND operation as well. Okay. Now NAND and NOR gates can be used to perform any Boolean operation, and so they are called fundamental gates. Okay. So this is one important thing which you may keep in mind, that you can realize any Boolean logic, Boolean operation using NAND and NOR gates. Okay. Now we have another interesting theorem which is called as the duality theorem. Okay. So What does the duality theorem say? Um, so this duality theorem, it's very interesting. It says that a Boolean relation can be obtained from another Boolean relation. So if you just do this, you just do this. So you can achieve this in this manner. One is you can change each OR input or sign to an AND sign. So first is by changing each OR sign. AND sign. This is the first one. Second is you also have to change each AND sign to an OR sign. And third one is you have to complement each 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. So these are the three steps. If you perform these three steps, you can, from one Boolean relation, you can obtain another Boolean relation. So let's just take an example. Okay, say uh, can take A or 0. We know that A or 0 is equal to A. And if we apply this duality theorem to this relation, to this Boolean relation, you will get A and 0 has to be complemented to 1. This is equal to A. So you can see here we have a relation, a Boolean relation, and here we have a dual relation. So here Let's take another one. We know A or 1, and we know that this is equal to 1. And if you apply the duality theorem, you'll get A, replace OR with AND, replace 1 with 0. So here also 1 gets replaced with 0. You have the second dual relation. This dual relation is just the dual of this relation. In the same way, you can take A or A, and here you get A. Okay, and if you see the dual of this relation, it is A, replace the OR sign with an AND sign, A equal to A. And finally, A or complement of A, we know that this is equal to 1. If you apply the duality theorem to this, you get A and complement of A is equal to replace, to change 1 to 0. So you can check for yourself any Boolean relation and you can apply the duality theorem to it, and you can obtain another interesting dual relation which is always going to be valid. Let us take another example. Let us take, while applying the duality theorem, let us take another example, say of, let's take A and A or B. We know that we have done it in one of our assignments, A and A or B. And we know that this is equal to A itself. So we have proved this also. And you can obtain, if you just apply the duality theorem to this, what do you get? Replace all the AND signs, change all the AND signs by OR signs. So here AND gets replaced, OR sign gets replaced with. So A, sorry, this is A and B, and this is equal to A. Okay, so this is another. You can try this for all the relations that we have done, even the ones which you have done in the assignments, and check it for yourself and verify. Okay. So this is about this interesting duality theorem. Let's save our work, what we have done so far. Now let us go to, let us take an example. Let us take a problem so that we are able to actually apply what we have done so far. So let's take a problem here, and we'll work out this problem. We'll work out a solution. You see, we studied a lot of, we reviewed a lot of Boolean algebra, and of course it's not much, it's not a lot, but all the same it's important, it's useful. Now let's apply it to a practical problem. Suppose you have an automobile. In that, for an automobile door and seat buzzer system, assume that sensors are available to provide digital signals representing the door and seat belt states. Okay. signal A is from the door, where A implies the door is closed. So if the door is closed, the signal that is generated is A, which is let us say it's 1. And signal B is from the seat belt, where high implies the seat belt is fastened. So this is the second signal coming from the seat belt. And signal C indicates whether the ignition switch is turned on. So here we have the third one, that is whether the ignition switch is turned on. And your circuit should output a signal X that can be used to turn a buzzer on or off, where high implies on. So using these three inputs A, B and C, we have to produce an output signal, okay, which will turn on a buzzer. So where I implies that the buzzer is on. The buzzer should be on if the ignition is on and if the door is open or the seat belt is not fastened. Okay, so this is a safety issue. We all know about it. We have to shut the door properly and we have to also fasten our seat belts. Only then we should permit. So if the ignition starts, then without any one of these or with both of these not getting fulfilled, then ignition, there should be some alarm. So we are asked to construct the complete truth table, design and sketch the logic circuits after simplification. Okay. So let us start. So here we have an automobile door and seat belt buzzer system. For that, assume that sensors are available to provide digital signals representing the door and seat belt states. Signal A is from the door. So let us consider the inputs. So we have inputs here. Class chal rahi hai. So inputs, and in these inputs we have the door, then we have the seat belt. Of course, the door is given by the input A. Then we have seat belt given by B, and we have the ignition this is given by the ignition switch. I'm just writing ignition here. And we have the output. The output is your buzzer, which is going to be X. So we have this table. Let's prepare a simple truth table. So here we will have the rows combinations like this. We may have the door open, seat belt, not fastened, ignition, not on. Second one, let us say, is door is open, seat belt is not fastened, but ignition switch is. So let us prepare this complete truth table. These are all the possible inputs that we can have. And now we can see that if the ignition is on, so your circuit should output a signal X that can be used to turn a buzzer on or off, where high implies on. The buzzer should be on if the ignition is on and if the door is open. So first is buzzer is on over here. Here door is open as well as seat belt is not fastened. So the buzzer should go on. Okay. Then here we have the ignition is on, but the door is open. So again, the buzzer should go on. Here also, although the door is closed, but the seat belt is not fastened, the ignition is on. So here, and finally, when both the door is closed, seat belt is fastened, ignition is on, there is no problem. So here, will not. And in all the other cases, you see the ignition is off. So the buzzer need not. So the buzzer will be turned off. So this is the truth table for this problem. So this is how you can formulate a truth table. So this is the first step when you try to solve, make a solve a problem like this. But before you go into implementation of this, you should work out, you should build up the logic for this. And there are ways of doing this. So one of the very fundamental ways in which this can be done, a very systematic way in which it can be done, is using the fundamental products. Okay. Now, what are fundamental products? Now, wherever we have the output as 1, we will see the inputs. We have not A, not B, and C. You can see 0, 0, 1. So here we will have a fundamental product, not A and not B and C. Now you can see the property of this fundamental product is that it will be 1 only for this particular pattern of A, B, and C. That only when A is 0, B is 0, and C is 1. It will give you 0 output in all the other cases. Okay. So this becomes one product. It's called a product, but it's just a combination of AND operations. So here, let's see the next when the output is 1 again. So here you have not A, and B, and C. So another product, not A, and B, and C. So you can see here that if you have this input combination, only then this product becomes 1. For all the other input combinations, this product remains 0. So it's called a fundamental product corresponding to these inputs. In the same way, you have another output as 1 here. So here you have A and not B and C. Again, only when this product will be 1, only when A is 1, B is 0, C is 1. For all other inputs, this will be 0. So what you have got here, what you have got corresponding to these outputs 1 are fundamental products. So these are fundamental products. Now using these fundamental products, we should be able to formulate a sentence, a Boolean sentence.
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We had a power failure here and the net got disconnected. So let us resume.
Yes, sir.
So are you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
So here we worked out the fundamental products. So for these fundamental products, we see that the corresponding outputs are 1. And in our case, the buzzer should be on if any one of these, or if all of these, or if a combination of these are satisfied. Okay. So for us, the buzzer, which is given by the variable x, should be on if we have either not A and not B and not and C, or A, not A and not B.
Sir, it should be B here, sir. There was a correction in the second case.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So here, this is. Thank you very much. And C, or A and not B and C. So you can see that you have formulated this problem. Okay, this is called the formulation of a logic sentence. And this is very important. You should be able to do this. Only then you will be able to proceed with building up a circuit for this. So you have to formulate this, okay? And here let's see what's the economics involved. How many gates do we require? You can see that we require here one AND gate, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We require 6 AND gates. Okay. We require 1, 2 OR gates. And how many NOT gates? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we require 4 NOT gates. Okay. Now it is possible for us to simplify this and obtain a simpler logic sentence for the same output. So it is necessary to simplify this because the more number of logic gates you have, your hardware increases. So when you make a large number of products, when your hardware is more and more, the cost of the product increases. So it's essential to simplify, to minimize this. So you need to simplify this. So simplification of this is absolutely essential. And you can use the identities which we have learned so far. So you can apply those laws to this, and I'm sure you all will be able to simplify this very nicely. So we can reduce, so simplification is essential to reduce the number of Boolean operations. Okay, so we will save whatever we have done so far, and I want all of you to do this simplification on your own, and I'll discuss this simplification with you. I'm sure all of you can simplify this expression and come to an expression where you need not simplify further, and you come with the minimum number of gates. Okay, so the task before you is to simplify this. So you may take this as a homework for you. It need not be submitted, but the work is that you have to simplify and reduce the Boolean operations to the minimum. Possible. And then work out how many AND gates you require, how many OR gates you require, how many NOT gates you require, and how many inputs are there for these gates. So in terms of gates and inputs. And I expect all of you to try this by yourself and do it by yourself. Okay. So we will stop here for today. I'm sorry that there was a power disruption and we lost some time. But in the future, when we have a power disruption like this, we may have a break in between. But I'll try to put on on the hotspot or whatever is available with me, if possible, or connect it to some router. But in the meanwhile, we may not be able to communicate for some time. So please be patient in such cases. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. If you have any difficulties so far, please let me know. Any questions, any queries?